In the first layer, we already established the habit, actually the rule, that if you pass one spot away, then you must basket cut. Well, the post is one spot away. Therefore, if you feed the post, then you must basket cut. And this is the essence of the read and react system. One habit or one action feeds easily and logically into the next action. By the way, there are more cuts available for the player who feeds the post, but this is a progression. I'll add those later. Adding the post feed basket cuts at this point allows a team to immediately pass and cut in all three formations. And it's so easy that for some teams, you can teach layer 1 and layer 2 at the same time. When you're feeding the post from the wing, you'll either cut below the post, called Laker cut low, or you'll cut above the post, called Laker cut high. But it doesn't matter where the post is located. If you feed the post, you must cut. It's that simple. Don't complicate it. Here are the two north-south cuts after a guard feeds the high post. I don't have names for these cuts. We could call them Laker cut right and Laker cut left, but in essence, they're just basket cuts. I said earlier that any new action must dovetail seamlessly into previous habits of action. Well, the player who feeds the post and cuts is simply a basket cutter and follows the same habit of action that he or she learned in the previous layer, and that is, for now, find an empty spot on the perimeter and fill out. But notice that with 4 out and 1 in, there are 2 possible perimeter spots to fill. It's at this time that you'll explain to your players that not only does the ball handler have lots of freedom in the read and react, but the basket cutter has choices as well. And here's your first set of choices. Which side do I fill out? What about the empty spot that the cutter left on the perimeter? This is not a new habit. The spot will be filled because that's what we did in the previous layer. Let's look at this action and answer some questions about it. When the wing feeds the post and no one is in the corner, then regardless of the direction of the cut, the guard must fill the empty wing. Therefore, there's movement by everyone on the perimeter. But if the passer has teammates to the right and left, as in the case of a guard feeding the high post, then the direction of the cut will pull a teammate into the empty spot. Example, if the guard cuts to the right, then these teammates will fill. If the guard cuts to the left, then this teammate fills the spot. You might ask, what happens if the wrong player fills the spot? Well, nothing will happen. Offensive actions will continue as long as no one freezes up. The read and react is very hard to mess up. Tell your players this because it will lower their anxiety. Now let's link it up and dovetail it into other layers. In other words, let's learn how to play. Combinations are the very essence of the read and react. As long as this action, or this layer, begins and ends in familiar spots, it can be combined with previous layers in any order from any formation at the player's choosing. This is the actual teaching mechanism for training 5 players how to play together. Learn how to connect each layer one to another. Develop the ability to flow effortlessly from one action to another, always remaining in familiar spots. Whenever we feed the post for a Laker cut, if I pass to you and I make my Laker cut close to you, your man can guard both of us, okay? So if I'm going to make a Laker cut high, our rule is we try to touch this high post elbow before we cut in here, okay? Vice versa, if I make a Laker cut, straddle the mid post, get right on that mid post.
if I make a Laker cut, like right now, I got an equal chance either way with you in the mid post. So if I choose a Laker cut low, again, I want to try and touch this short corner, ensure that I go below this big block, and we have spacing. Your man can't guard both those. Okay? Can you demonstrate that? And just give him a pass for a shot. Go ahead. Excellent. Good. Rotate on out. I want you to take a Laker cut high and just make sure you touch that red high post spot. Go ahead. And you guys have got to feel, okay? So let's do that one again, okay? And the moment he leaves this spot, you guys have got to feel. Go ahead. Great. Okay, let's throw back there. Now let's talk about the post player here, okay? I want you to pass in here and walk through a Laker cut high, okay? The reason that we don't want you to pass in the air here is just because, yeah, most post guys are up here, right? And I'm going to deflect these, okay? Switch with me. I'll show you. I'll make it even more obvious. If you're on defense, come do that again, okay? And I'm down here, Lola, and I'm going to try to make this air pass. Look at where you are, you know? I don't want to make any kind of air pass with this guy behind me. So I want to catch this, chin it, ever how your coach teaches you to do this, hold it secure, three-point contact, ever how you're taught to do this. But I want to work on just dropping this pass around your hip under those arms. Obviously, if your arms are down, yeah, I'll do something different. But most are not. Most post players, the chance of deflecting is up here, okay? Rotate. Give me a Laker cut low, okay? Good. Laker cut low, good. I just want to be able to drop that, okay? It's almost just a drop, okay? I can also make your cut a little harder. Go ahead. I can also just kind of hide this ball from you and drop it around you, okay? The next thing that I want to work on as a post player in passing here is to work on a wraparound pass, okay? Because he's a smart defender. Come on up on me a little bit. He's a smart defender. Go ahead, slow motion. If I just show him a little, that's not going to be open. But if I can wrap it late, I stand a good chance of getting it. Okay, go ahead, rotate out. Many times your defender will guard you tough from there to there, or from there to there. But they'll ease up when you get in the lane, okay? And so I want to be able to wrap this around my my defender and get you late, okay? You want to try that? Get him late, all right? Yeah, wrap around. Yeah, so right, good. Do it again, and hey, show me a little ball to his side so I move to, and then, does that make sense? Yeah, go ahead, good. Yes, and you get him late, okay? Sometimes when you feed the post, and you're going to make a Laker cut, the defense tries to slow you down by getting into your body, making some contact, okay? So what I want you to consider is using that contact as a signal to change directions. Instead of fighting it, use it as a read to go in the other direction, like this. Feed the post, start a Laker cut high, I get into you, right. Leave it and go Laker cut low, okay? You know, I would think, especially at you guys' level, this would happen quite a bit. You know, especially if you're quicker than me, I do want to get into your body a little bit and make it a little more even ground for me, okay? So try Laker cut low, you know? Boom, I get into you, right. And that's one of the freedom of the read and react allows you to choose either one so you don't have to make that battle, okay? There are 4 possible cuts for the player that feeds the post.
Nowhere else in the read and react are there multiple choices for the passer. There are several reasons for this. My first being to encourage a player to feed the post. If you feed the post, then you have more options than you would if you simply pass to someone on the perimeter. These 4 cuts are made up of 2 north-south cuts and 2 east-west cuts. The east-west cuts are introduced later. The 2 north-south cuts are so closely related to passing on the perimeter that you could introduce them in layer 1 and practice them at virtually the same time.